there, Taurus. Welcome to your mid-July 2019 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. My camera's really wobbly, so I've got to just tighten it some in the very near future. Okay, the first thing I just want to say to you is that we do have a lunar eclipse coming up in Capricorn, a fellow Earth sign to you, so that forms a trine. And you know, it's interesting because, and this is going to happen on the 16th of July, so this is in the time period that I'm doing this reading for, mid to end of July. So Taurus, this is going to be in your 9th house, I'm thinking. And that's in part the house of foreign travel. And the heart of the matter here is the Chariot. And one of the things about the Chariot is foreign travel. I mean, you know, travel itself. So that might be on tap for you. But with the lunar eclipse, it might be something that comes about in a very, I'm thinking a very sudden way, or if you already are traveling, that you might be ending your trip in a way that you didn't expect. Lunar eclipses are very powerful full moons. The experience may be more internalized, where you are experiencing an emotional reaction to something. So with 9th house matters, which is Capricorn, this would be relating to that kind of geographical expansion of traveling, as well as university studies, as well as, you know, just religious exploration or philosophical exploration. It can be, you know, something along those lines. Now, one thing that's possible is, because full moons can bring endings, and the lunar eclipse can be like an ending that is not really even about your personal decision, but it's like part of your life's unfoldment, that certain things are meant to happen. Because the South Node, or your karmic past, is also in this sector. And the North Node is transiting through your 3rd house, which is the opposing house, and you just had a solar eclipse in this sector on July 2nd. So that is more of the emphasis right now, which is more of the mundane knowledge versus the abstract knowledge. The reason that this is important, Taurus, is that, I'll give you an example. Let's say you're somebody who has graduated from university and you have your heart set on getting a graduate degree. You feel like that is going to just take you that much further. It could be that the universe wants you to get some practical experience under your belt, and maybe intern somewhere, or get some kind of certification that's going to allow you to get hired right now. It's possible that for some people, they want to hide out in college and just study all these wonderful abstract subjects when they really need to be emphasizing skills at the moment. And that's kind of what the 3rd house is, kind of gathering those skills. And the 3rd house is also about communicating, but kind of, to me, of a more practical variety too. So writing, but writing for the purpose of spreading information that is of a practical value and things like that. So that might be kind of what is going on for you, where, we're talking about the end of July. So, if you're applying to college and you're still in the decision mode of like, should I continue, or should I just like try to find a job with a bachelor's degree? There may be something that comes about that gives you that nudge in the direction of, hey, rather than getting a master's degree, I'm going to get a certification in this particular area. And this will give me extra ability to like get hired, but I won't be consumed with more university studies right now. This is just talking about right in this moment. And it's also a card of victory. So something that you have wanted to kind of master is in your favor. In the past position, we have the Nine of Wands. There's a certain weariness. I didn't say weariness, I said weariness, or kind of suspicion on this person's face. By the way, I wanted to say too, that the Chariot can be a Cancer individual. So perhaps you, Taurus, have put up your guard just in general when it comes to the dating scene, for instance, and you've met a Cancer individual, and now you feel maybe that you can let down your guard. Actually, on paper at least, I'm not going to say 100% across the board, but Cancer and Taurus being water and earth can be a very good combination. So that person may have engendered trust in you, and therefore you feel like you can let down your guard, and that can feel very nice, because you may be wanting to find somebody new. Perhaps you've been alone for a while. Who knows? The higher message is represented by the King of Cups. Now, if this is a male, and let's say you are female, it doesn't have to be that you're female and he is a male. I guess it doesn't matter. You could be a male too. But anyway, this person would be more of a male, a mature male. If not chronologically mature, then definitely emotionally mature. Regardless of the age of this person, he will be somebody who is very caring. So if this is actually a Cancer male, he is emotionally mature. Maybe you have been dealing with somebody who is not very mature, Taurus, and it kind of like, and you broke up with them, or they may have kind of left you in the lurch, so to speak. Actually, this could be, this is what crosses you, the Tower card. So it may have been in your last relationship that a person left you high and dry, kind of like out of the blue, and you're afraid now. You think that every relationship has a potential to do that. And, being wary of that possibility makes sense if you've experienced something to that effect. The thing about this King of Cups, because he is very mature, he's not going to be playing these games, these emotional games. So he's going to be much more caring, and if he has something to tell you, he's going to tell you. He's not just going to ghost you. This could be the King of Cups, though, could be that you might even need to see like a counselor, because that could be what the King of Cups represents, or your pastor, your clergy figure, because you may need a little bit of a sounding board if you have found yourself left with trust issues because of what you've dealt with, you can't just assume that you're going to get over it on your own. If you find that you're just very, very on guard, because even, this is one of the reasons why I say that really people making psychic predictions, which I don't do because I don't claim to be a psychic, any kind of predictions, it really doesn't matter in the long run, because ultimately, if you are feeling messed up emotionally because of a past relationship that went bad, you could have the best relationship and you're going to be kind of like walled in. And it's going to be very hard for you, Taurus, to kind of open up to that person and feel that sense of trust, because you may be just too afraid of what's going to happen, and you end up pushing that person away inadvertently. So, needless to say, it's important to be emotionally healed when you're in a relationship, or otherwise it's probably not going to last. Something will come about. Either they will feel frustrated that they can't get through to you, or you will do something deliberate to kind of alienate yourself, because the worst thing to you is the idea of being left again. And so it's almost like you would rather be the first one to leave than to have it happen against your will, or against your desires. The advice is the Queen of Swords, which is about being able to have that emotional connection to somebody, but by the same token, having that sense of perhaps detachment, mental detachment, okay? Emotional detachment too, actually. And by the way, this can be also with a workplace situation, because the Chariot could be like you having success to the point where you're even in charge of others. And if this is something that has recently come to you, Taurus, you may feel uncomfortable because there may be this need to even deal with people that have to be let go, and that may feel very uncomfortable for you if you are in a position of authority that you've never had before. And that sometimes is what happens when you get a promotion, is that all of a sudden you may get a raise and you may get the glory of a title that is, considered a higher status, but by the same token you may have more on your plate. You may have more responsibility that you have to deal with. And so that's kind of like the paradox of life, is like you kind of rise in your station, but by the same token, you may have more that you must deal with. So the Queen of Swords is the best combination of heart and head, and not one kind of abandoned for the other. The outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. This can be a card of really that I think this is a great card for Taurus, because you are of the Pentacles variety. This is like a woman of the earth, tending to her garden. But it's almost like, because I see like success here for you, Taurus. So you may have this great balance in your life where you're able to have career success and then go home and just kind of like work in the garden, make your house real nice, or whatever, wherever you live, really nice, and maybe even invest in certain things that you want to, for home improvements even. You can put your money in there. If this is something where we have two queens here, so this could be like dealing with, if you are like a working mother, dealing with that. Maybe you're going to even have your own mother taking care of your child in your home, perhaps, while you're working, or if your boss or your boss, I'm talking about the one above you, is a woman, perhaps they will understand. But with the King of Cups, it can even be that it's a male boss, but he has a lot of feminine energy, because Cups is feminine, water energy is feminine, and he really feels for you if you are a mother, and you're going to have this great ability to have that flexibility for your work. Maybe you're even going to do what do they call those, where they work flex time? Maybe you're going to do some of that from home, and because you have this boss who is very sympathetic to you, you've got the best of both worlds, perhaps. So, yeah, very nice. I see some nice stuff for you here, Taurus. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you'd like a personal reading, the link is below. My website is rainamoonastrology.com. Take care. Bye.